Hi everybody, welcome to Kitchen Table Gaming. I'm Brian David Marshall. This is my kitchen, and today we're going to be playing a little bit of Commander. It's a Magic the Gathering format, multiplayer. I've got some friends coming over, and I'm going to make them some brunch. So we're going to have a couple little picky things, and to mix things up, we're going to start off with a drink this time. And I'm making my take on a Bloody Mary. This one's all green. We're using tomatillos instead of tomatoes. Tomatillo, not actually even vaguely related to a tomato. It's a berry. It's going to have lime, jalapeno, cucumber, the either beloved or hated cilantro, and of course, some adult moisture going into the mix should you be old enough to drink. So we're going to get started right now, and while we wait for our guests to get here and fix them a cocktail. We're going to chop up some tomatillos, put them in the food processor. We're going to take an English cucumber. We're going to peel it, chop that up, throw that in there as well. Jalapeno, we slice it open. We're taking out the seeds and the stem, and then we're going to put that in there. And then lime zest, lime juice, a little water to loosen it up, all in the food processor. We blend that up, goes into the strainer, and we strain the pulp out, and what we're left with is a beautiful green nectar. This is going to be perfect. We're going to put this in a pitcher. We're going to get it in the refrigerator, get it cold for later. Then we're going to serve this over some ice with some vodka, a little bit of garnish. So that is the bloody, well, let's call it a bloody tapao. Bloody Mary, red blood. This is green blood. We got to go Vulcan. And let's move on to our next dish. All right, next up, we're going to make falafel sliders. We got a little bit of a twist on the classic falafel here. I'll show you that in a little bit, but first let's make the actual falafel patties. We're not going to be making balls, we're going to be making patties, and you'll see why in a little bit. We're taking 2 cups of dried chickpeas, putting them in the food processor, putting in there a handful of cilantro, a handful of parsley, 8 tablespoons of garbanzo flour. We've got 2 teaspoons each of cumin and coriander that are going in there, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, a teaspoon of salt, a teaspoon of red pepper flake, 1 chopped whole onion, some lemon zest, a little lemon juice, 4 cloves of garlic, maybe 5 or 6 cloves of garlic, and then we have 2 eggs that are going to serve to bind everything together when we cook it. Okay, so we're ready to assemble the falafel sliders. And if you remember, I told you we're gonna do something a little different with these. Instead of having the falafel in the sandwich, the falafel is gonna be the sandwich. We're gonna take our falafel patties that we've fried up, finished off in the oven. We're gonna slice them down the middle like with an English muffin. And we have 2 pieces of bread for our sliders. Then, I've just taken a little bit of store-bought hummus. You can make your own, but and then what I did was I added a little sriracha and a little lemon juice to it. So we're gonna put a little bit of the sriracha hummus here on the bottom of the sandwich. Oops, so we're gonna grab a little lettuce. We'll use our hands though, I think. We're gonna use I'm using a little fresh arugula here, a little baby arugula. I'm gonna have a slice of heirloom tomato. Look at that beautiful color. Put the heirloom tomato there, and then I have this wedge of feta cheese. You'll often get feta cheese on a hummus, on a falafel. And then there you have it. That is the falafel slider. And this is gonna be delicious. This is gonna be our little snack for the day while we're gaming. All right, gentlemen, since we will be mortal enemies shortly, we should share a drink and a toast while we can. I'll get myself one here, hang on.
To life. 40 life.
40 life in a row. Ooh, it's good.
It's like a juice that has been blended with some spice.
I made falafel sliders.
Excellent.
Go ahead.
Yeah, okay.
I like it.
Oh, yeah. Well, that hits the spot.
This is hummus. As like the,
It's
the
a little.
sauce.
It's hummus, some fresh lemon juice, and a little bit of sriracha.
This is much better than the Hot Pocket I had this morning.
So Dan,
Yes.
tell us about your role in the Commander universe.
I mean, Commander is the format I played predominantly. I play in the New York City scene, which I feel like must be one of the more developed scenes in the world. I like to play a little bit competitive, but I also want to make sure that every player has a chance to do the thing that their deck does. So I try to design my decks in a way that's interactive and fun, but also competitive.
Commander is mostly a multiplayer format. Start with 40 life, which is a lot of life. Usually when you play multiplayer, it's the 20 life and it's just a free-for-all. But there's some interesting rules with Commander. One is there's a commander, because it's called Commander. Basically, you pick a legendary creature, which it's used, the colors of the legendary creature or the actual color identity of the creature is what's dictating how you can build your deck.
So, for example, you have a deck with Alesha, who smiles at death.
Yes.
And so Alesha is red in the casting cost,
true.
but has white and black activation ability.
Right, which is a flavor win from a game rules perspective because she's the first transgendered character in Magic history. So she is red but identifies as red, white, and black, right?
I'm going to be playing Child of Valar, and it's not what you think. It's not what you think. I'm just playing Child of Valar for the colors.
I'm going to be playing CDC Brood Tyrant. So it's basically I just took my favorite Innistrad block draft deck, and I brought the mulches, I brought the runic repetitions, I brought the memories journey. I've got, I rare drafted. I have a Kessid Cage Breaker, sure, but I'm doing it all. So I'm making tokens and I'm doing, mean things with them. So why don't we play? And then when we're done, I have dessert in the freezer, and I'll bring that out, and we can finish on a high note and make friends again.
Great.
Let's do it quick. Let's get to the dessert. I'll draw.
Start?
The game begins. I'll pass turn.
Cycle Death Shot Minute.
It begins. So CDC Brood Tyrant comes into play.
I'll cast Buried Alive.
Uh-oh.
Karmic Guide. Disciple of Bolus. And Anarchist.
New plan!
We're going to wrap it up.
Let's see. Well, I have this card. Sepulchral Primordial.
Oh no.
That thing brings things back from graveyards?
It does. It's really weird like that.
It's pretty good. Right after a wrath.
What do you want?
I want that one.
Okay.
Can I have this one?
Progenitor Mimic, sure.
Yeah. Okay, so Progenitor Mimic.
Oh goodness, I see where this is going.
And
I see where
give
this
me
is
this
going.
one.
Oh, this
All
is
right.
bad. Oh, this is bad.
Okay.
I'm gonna go get the desserts and let them start thawing a little bit. Tell me when I need to do something.
You've jinxed yourself. Now the game's going to last another hour.
Okay, now you get to see that. I'm gonna suck this guy.
I'm going to cast Merciless Eviction, naming creatures.
So that's exiled.
Exile all creatures, yes.
I'm gonna cast Spider Spawning.
I don't know what that does, actually.
So it puts a 1/2 spider into play for every creature in my graveyard. 1,
that's
2,
pretty
3,
good.
4, 5, 6,
Oh,
7,
goodness.
8, 9, 10,
You have another
11,
one.
12, 13, 14, 15. So I get 15 spiders. And I'm gonna pay black. I'm gonna flashback Spider Spawning
Okay.
for 15 6/6s.
I have a response. Half your Essence of the Wild in response to you flashing that back.
Okay.
So you'll get 15 more. 1,
Okay.
2.
Okay. All right. Greater Hoof Behemoth.
I think that does it, doesn't it? I pass priority.
So it's plus 29. Trample.
That's a lot.
Is this where we offer the handshake?
And if you offer the handshake, you get ice cream.
There we go. Excellent. Good game.
We're gonna make a cookie based on one of the most famous removal spells in the history of Magic, a popular card in Commander, Swords to Plowshares. We're making S'mores to Plowshares. So we're gonna be making a graham cookie. We're gonna be using dark chocolate pieces. We're gonna be using mini marshmallows. And the cookie itself is gonna be made with graham flour, cinnamon, and all these great flavors. So let's just go through what's in the cookie. In the cookie, we have a cup of all-purpose flour and a cup and a quarter of graham flour. Now, if you can't find graham flour, you can, I know people who've already done this and used ground up graham crackers. So if ground up graham crackers, you can use that. I really like the graham flour. We're gonna be using 1.5 cups of brown sugar. We're gonna be using 2 sticks of butter. I really like a nice grass-fed butter or an organic butter. 1 egg. Then we put in a lot of cinnamon. We have 4 teaspoons of cinnamon, teaspoon of salt, 3/4 teaspoon of baking powder, and 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda. That's really it. It's a pretty simple cookie. We're gonna get started. We put 1.5 cups of brown sugar in the stand mixer. We put in 2 sticks of deliciously softened butter. We feel really guilty about all this butter, but we don't care. And what we're gonna do is just get these going together. And we're gonna put them on for about 2 to 3 minutes to get these kind of whipped together, really this beautiful, creamy, light, brown sugar butter. And then we're gonna add an egg. And then that's gonna go for like 8 minutes. That really goes, and we get that really whipped. And that's why these cookies are so delicious. We're gonna let that all come together into a dough. We're gonna scoop that out onto sill pad or parchment lined baking sheets. And then what you're gonna do is put some press into each cookie, into the top some frozen mini marshmallows and some chocolate pieces. So we're really creating that s'mores experience. Okay, we're just gonna put these in the freezer for about 10 minutes till they firm up. These we just took out of the freezer, and they're gonna go right into a 350-degree oven for 16 minutes. All right, so we've got the s'mores to plowshare cookies. I've already shown those on the website, so I wanted to sort of bring them up a little bit for this one. So what I've done is I took some just store-bought vanilla ice cream, I put it into softened it, put it into a ring mold, and then put those in the freezer to harden again. And now I'm taking those and I'm just rolling those in some chopped pieces of the same chocolate bars we were using before. Just getting that all crusted up on the side, and then we take our blank cookie, the one with no topping, and then we take our cookie with the marshmallow gently, and there is your s'mores to plowshares ice cream sandwich. Can't think of a better dessert to eat when playing Commander than s'mores to plowshares ice cream sandwiches.
Oh,
everyone gets one.
These are massive.
They are massive.
I mean, this is big enough to share. We've shared bigger desserts, smaller desserts.
Speak for yourself, man. I'm taking it.
I'm getting these cards out of here.
Yeah, that's quite smart, actually.
I'm gonna get my cards as far away from this mess as possible.
I'll live dangerously. Whoa. Mm.
Oh my god. You've outdone yourself.
They're messy, but delicious. Guys, that does it for another episode of Kitchen Table Gaming. If you want any of these recipes, you can find them on fetchland.com, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And it was great. We did the first episode. I got a lot of pictures and a lot of response from people who made the recipes. I love hearing from people who are making these things. So please continue to send them to me. I'm at Top 8 Games on Twitter. You can find me on Facebook. And again, fetchland.com. That's where each of these recipes will be. We'll have the s'mores to plowshares cookies, the falafel sliders, and the bloody tapow. So thanks a lot, and we'll see you next time from my kitchen.